When Zenless Zone Zero Season 2 launched, the scale of it was undeniable. Moving from the cramped alleys of 6th Street to the sprawling eastern environment of Wi-Fi Peninsula was a massive technical leap. But as players spent more time in Phaethon Heights, a divide started forming in the community. Not because the content was low quality, the production value was actually higher than ever, but because the game seemed to be having an identity crisis. To understand the criticism, you have to look at what Season 1 promised. ZZZ built its audience on a very specific retro-urban tech-forward aesthetic, VHS tapes, film reels, and street-level stakes. Being an underdog in a corporate-run dystopia where existence-threatening hollows are just another business opportunity. Season 2 pivoted hard into traditional Chinese martial arts, who traded AI and hacking storylines for mystic techniques. And while the Wi-Fi Peninsula was visually stunning, the shift felt less like an expansion of the world and more like a replacement of its core identity. For a lot of players, the backlash wasn't just personal preference, but a legitimate critique of a game abandoning the niche that made it stand out in a crowded gacha market. The most significant structural change was what they did with Phaethon. In Season 1, the Proxy was a tactical mastermind, the guy in the chair directing agents through ES, central to every commission without ever throwing a punch. That was genuinely unique. You weren't the strongest person in the room. You weren't even in the room, but you mattered. In Season 2, that dynamic got flipped. The Proxy is now on the front lines, practicing mystic arts, becoming a more conventional protagonist. By giving the MC physical power, the writers actually diminished what made them special. The legendary Phaethon became a martial arts student, running errands for the mayor. Yixuan became a running joke. How many times can one character be conveniently away before it starts breaking immersion? This is a Superman dilemma in its most textbook form. Yixuan is simply too strong. If she's present, the tension evaporates. She could end the threat herself. Rather than finding clever ways to integrate her power into the stakes, the writers kept removing her from the board entirely, only to drop her back in at the exact moment of convenient rescue. It stops feeling like a story and starts feeling like the writer is struggling to manage their own power scaling. Sarah and the Exaltists were set up for months as an existential threat. Even from the tail end of Season 1, the setup suggested we'd go deep into Tops, the Mayflowers, and the shady connections between factions. Instead, Sarah's demise happened so quickly it felt like a footnote. She was shown to be a master manipulator, even a world beater, once she fused with the creator, but we never truly felt the weight of her presence before she was shuffled off stage. The build-up was there, the payoff wasn't. This weak writing bled into character relationships too, specifically Ye Shengguang. The I Don't Want to Forget You arc is built around her memory loss from the Qingming sword, and on paper that's a compelling hook, but the writers leaned on it so hard, recycling it across the main story of that patch, that it stopped feeling like a relationship developing and started feeling like a substitute for one. Losing the memories of someone isn't the same as having history with them. The relationship between her and the Proxy needed to be built organically across multiple patches to justify how she acted in her debut. Instead, the script kept hitting the same note over and over until it crossed into romance bait territory. One of Season 1's biggest strengths was its found family energy. The Cunning Hares, Victoria Housekeeping, Bellabug Heavy Industries, the Sons of Caledon. These were groups with real chemistry. You could feel the friction and the history between them. Season 2's factions never clicked the same way. Some characters, Yuzuha, Alice, had genuine moments and chemistry, but in the rush to introduce a brand new region, the intimate faction dynamics that gave ZZZ its heart got pushed to the background. Too many of the new agents felt like standalone designs rather than people who belonged to each other. While we were sharpening our mystic techniques in Phaethon Heights, the core mysteries of New Eridu were still untouched. No deep dive into the big families, no meaningful update on the mayor. The Proxy's teacher got a handful of lore drops and not much else. The Hoshimi family sword, a plotline players were interested in, felt like it got quietly tabled. Season 2 expanded the world horizontally. It failed to dig vertically into what players were already invested in Season 1. Version 2.6, Encore for an Old Dream, feels like a deliberate exhale, a signal from Hoyoverse that they haven't forgotten what made this game worth playing. Framed as an interlude following the culminating chapter of Season 2, it pulls the Proxy back into 6th Street, wrapping everything in New Eridu's Gilded Carrot Day festivities. It's a lighter patch structurally. That lightness is exactly the point. The commission at the center involves an illegal intelligent entity, and other older characters are back in the fold. That alone does more to resurrect the Season 1 energy than anything in Wi-Fi Peninsula did. The AI angle is back, the street level stakes are back, the tone is back. The centerpiece event puts players in the role of backstage staff for the Angels of Delusion, managing training schedules and social media, and guiding them through a rhythm-based competition across different maps. It's eccentric, grounded, and completely ZZZ. It's the kind of design that felt absent for most of Season 2. None of this is a grand narrative redemption, it's a patch. But it's the right kind of patch, one that remembers the game's voice. So was Season 2 actually bad? No, the production value was some of the highest in the genre. The combat encounters were genuinely excellent. The Sunbringer plotline had real ambition, but as a sequel to Season 1, it underdelivered on the thing that mattered the most: identity. ZZZ built its fanbase on something specific: grimy tech-soaked street-level chaos, proxies running commissions from a video store, Hollows as a horror that capitalism decided to monetize. Season 2 swapped that for mystic arts and a scenic peninsula, and however polished the execution, the trade never felt worth it. The good news is, version 2.6 suggests the developers know this. The AI plotlines are returning, the old cast is getting attention, mechanically, not just narratively. The urban grind is back on the table. May have taken a full season's detour to confirm it, but ZZZ still seems to know where home is. The question for Season 3 is whether ZZZ has remembered what it is, or whether 2.6 is just a rest stop before the next scenic detour.